Hello everyone, welcome to Chemistry Concepts, and in this video we shall discuss about Bioinorganic Chemistry Part 2. And if you haven't watched Bioinorganic Chemistry Part 1, the link is given in the subscription. Please do watch it and then watch this Part 2. In this, we discuss first about porphyrins. So what is the structure of, and here this is the structure of porphyrins and this is the structure of pyrrole. Coming to the complete explanation of porphyrins, first we'll discuss what are porphyrins. Porphyrins are a group of heterocyclic organic compounds, that is macrocyclic organic compounds, composed of 4 modified pyrrole subunits interconnected at their alpha carbon atoms via methane bridges, that is double bond CH, and the parent porphyrin is porphin and are called as porphyrins. And in this porphyrins we shall discuss more heterocyclic, what is meant by heterocyclic, and what is meant by alpha carbon, and what is meant by porphyrin. So as porphyrins are heterocyclic macroorganic compounds, what is meant by heterocyclic? Heterocyclic compounds are those having a 5 or 6 membered ring containing hetero atoms of nitrogen, oxygen. We have pyridine, pyrrole and furan, where the pyrrole, which is given as a best example, that is a pyrrole which you can see on the screen. It is a 5-membered aromatic ring with 4 carbon atoms and 5 hydrogen atoms and 1 nitrogen atoms, and the molecular formula is C4H4NH. and along with this we have pyridine and furan, where furan is a 5-membered ring with a chemical formula C4H4O, and pyridine is a 6-membered ring with a chemical formula C5H5N, which is very closely related to benzene with one methane group replaced by 1 nitrogen atoms. And here we are discussing about interconnected at their alpha carbon atoms. That means 4 modified pyrrole subunits are interconnected at their alpha carbon is nothing but first carbon atom that attaches to a functional group. And we are also seeing what is that is about porphin. What is meant by porphin? Porphin is nothing but an organic chemical compound with a formula C20H14NF, which consists of a pyrrole rings joined by 4 methane groups to form a larger microcycle rings. And this porphyrins, it acts as a chelating ligands. What is chelating ligands? Chelating ligands are molecules that can form several bonds to a single metal ion, also called as multi-dentate ligands. And in this porphyrins, 4 nitrogen atoms of 4 pyrrole ring form coordinate bonds with metal cation to form metal porphyrin complexes. porphyrins are naturally occurring. One of the best known porphyrins is heme, that is a pigment in red blood cells and a cofactor of the protein hemoglobin. So in this porphyrins, if you go through a structural analysis, porphyrins are nothing but they are a group of heterocyclic macroorganic compounds composed of 4 modified pyrrole units you can see on the screen, and these 4 pyrrole subunits, they are interconnected at their alpha carbon atoms via methane bridges, and also it acts as the chelating ligand. 4 nitrogen atoms of 4 pyrrole ring form coordinate bonds with metal cation to form metal porphyrin complexes, and as we have discussed, they are naturally occurring, and one of the best known porphyrins is pigment in red blood cells and is a cofactor of protein hemoglobin. And this porphyrins, it is a naturally occurring porphyrin ring compounds. The hydrogen atoms attached to the carbon atoms and are submitted by other groups. Some metalloporphyrins are combined with proteins, that is hemoglobin, myoglobin, chlorophyll, cytochromes. And the next one, it is structure and biological function of hemoglobin. Coming to the structure of hemoglobin first. Hemoglobin are conjugated proteins which constitute the red coloring matter of the blood. That means normally RBC, red blood cells, which is due to, which is a pigment in the red blood cell, that is heme, what we are discussing. So the word itself gives you hemoglobin means heme globins. You can divide it into 2, that is heme globins. And here, why this RBC, they are red in color. They are red in color due to the pigment, that is heme, which is a porphyrin. And this hemoglobin, it heme, that is ferroprotoporphin, and hemoglobin binds the molecular oxygen in reversible combination. In both oxidized and reduced form of hemoglobin, iron remains in +2 state, and in hemoglobin the iron in heme is conjugated to the nitrogen atoms of the amino acid histidine within the protein globin. And globins of hemoglobin consist of 4 polypeptide chains arranged in tetrahedron format, each chain with the heme group. And this is the structure of hemoglobin, where M is equals to CH3P double bond CH2 COOH, and V is equals to CH double bond CH2, and in the center you can see iron, Fe plus. And coming to the biological importances. So during respiration, hemoglobin combines with oxygen to form oxyhemoglobin in the lungs. And also also, when the oxygenated blood reaches the tissues where oxygen availability is low, oxyhemoglobin is dissociated and oxygen is freely available to the cells. And in hemoglobin, the iron in heme is conjugated to the nitrogen atoms of tetrapyrrole rings, helpful for iron to combine with molecular oxygen in the lungs and transport it to tissues. Here you can ask, that is, what is meant by a conjugated protein? Conjugated protein is a protein that function in interaction with other chemical groups attached by a covalent bonding. And non-amino part of conjugated protein, it is called as prosthetic group. And again, if we need to explain it again, if we want to explain it, that means if you repeat the structure of hemoglobin or conjugate, told you what is meant by conjugated proteins, and they consist of proteins called globins and heme, and hemoglobin binds the molecular oxygen reversible combination. In both oxidized and reduced form of hemoglobin, iron remains in +2, and in hemoglobin, the iron in heme is conjugated to nitrogen atom of the amino acid histidine within the protein globin. And next, coming on to the structure and biological function of myoglobin. And this is the structure of myoglobin, and it is also a conjugated protein which is containing heme. What is heme? Already we have discussed what is meant by heme, which is a red color pigment BC. It is often called as muscle hemoglobin since it is present in muscle and cardiac tissues. And it is chemically similar to hemoglobin but consists of a single polypeptide chain of 153 amino acid residues. It is also associated with single heme prosthetic group along with Fe2+. That means both myoglobin and hemoglobin are each other, but in very few cases they are different. That's it. And in muscles of all vertebrates and invertebrates, myoglobin is reversibly binds the oxygen. In resting condition, myoglobin retains the fixed oxygen, but during contraction of muscle, oxygen dissociates from myoglobin and is available for oxidation. It is present in the flight muscles of the birds. And then next topic, that is the role of cyanocobalamin in living systems. This cyanocobalamin, it is called as vitamin B12, which is a regular word which we use in our daily life. B12 is nothing but cyanocobalamin. In this, what happens in B12 is nothing but cyanocobalamin. In this, what happens in this cobalt? In this, cobalt is in +3 oxidation state. It is a complex of 6 coordinated structures. One of the ligand is the CN- group. This cyanocobalamin is present in living cells during the isolation procedure, and this is the first organometallic compound identified in living system. And in biological system, cobalt undergo electron oxidation reduction from CO3 3 plus 2 CO plus 1, and the deficiency of this vitamin B12, it leads to a disease called pernicious anemia. And this is about bioinorganic chemistry. And thank you for watching.